All right, so today we're gonna do a little bit of bending side to side, so rotation in the spine, as well as some hips and quadriceps opening to really get the body moving in a juicy way. So come to the top of the mat. You can choose to have a couple blocks. I actually have a couple here, I'll grab them just in case. Always an option, bolsters, you know, the bands, the straps, all things are really important for you. And never look at it like you can't do something. It just means that you're giving yourself a little bit more support and a little bit more love. And sometimes you can get deeper into postures than you would be able to otherwise when you use them, and just embrace them. So I always like having them around. I encourage you to as well. And let's get started. So top of the mat, rock the feet a couple of times. Let the four corners root down, spread the toes. Think about fanning the feet out nice and wide. Drop into the body. Maybe let your eyes close for a moment. Lift the chest, feel the shoulders, crown the head for the ceiling or the sky. And let yourself come into your body and onto your mat, letting everything go, everything that was in your space. Now just release, such that you can be on your mat and right here, right now. Begin to engage your breath, perhaps that ujjayi breathing, that back of the throat constriction that keeps us present and draws us in a slight audible sound, originating at the core, traveling the length of the spine, filling up with oxygen and then letting it all go. Beautiful. And then as you take your next breath in, reach the arms all the way up overhead and release 10 fingers. Release the pointer fingers, index, and then just open up and arch over to the left side. Good, peeling the right shoulder back. Take another breath in and change. Slowly come back center and open for the right. Pointer fingers towards the sky, the ceiling as the left shoulder peels back and the right one comes forward. Nice big arch in the spine, a lift of the heart, a deep breath to guide you. And then come back center. Take an inhale, lengthen. Exhale, cactus the arms, lift the chest up for the sky. Inhale, come back center. Exhale, open up for the left. Sweeping the arm, left one meets right, and open up for the right. Good, come back center one more time per side, open left. And center, open up right. Beautiful, inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, swan dive down, heel toe the hips, feet width hips distance apart. And let yourself hang heavy, let yourself ragdoll forward, melt everything onto the floor. Imagine the weight of anything that's on your back just sliding off and releasing. Good, you can sway the hips from side to side, kill a little bit of breath. Good, and then come up, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold, and we're just gonna do that same sequence one more time. Inhale all the way up, inhale, lengthen, exhale, open to the left. Good, inhale, center, and open up to the right. Arch the spine, lift the heart. Good, inhale, lengthen, exhale, open to the left. Inhale, center, open up to the right. Inhale, center, open up to the left. Good, inhale, center, and last time towards the right. This time as we inhale, lengthen, exhale, cactus arm. Inhale, center, exhale, forward fold. Good, a little walk of the hips. Maybe this time shake out your head no, shake out your head yes. Good, and then just bring the right leg back towards the end of the mat and drop the right knee down. Good, and then just straighten the leg, flexing the foot towards the face a couple of times, giving yourself some movement, saying hello to the hips, saying hello to the body. Good, and then the next time that you plant the foot on the mat, take the right hand down, left hand top of the thigh. Open that chest for the left, a nice spiral here. Press the hand into the floor to get a little bit of strength and length. Pads of the fingers even have a little weight in them. Hug the muscles into the bone such that the left leg is drawing into the midline even here. Finally, if you want to reach that left arm up for the sky, feel free to do so and breathe. Beautiful. And change. Just windmill the hand down, straighten the left leg, flex the toes up for the sky. Take a lengthen of the chest, a lift of the heart, and then a peel down, melt towards the floor. Let the head hang heavy and just breathe. Breathe into the hamstring, breathe into the leg. Good, and then let the hips go a little bit to the right, and then let your outer edge of the left foot start to go towards the ground and feel that nice stretch on the outside of the foot. And then breathe into that space. Good, and then rocking the ankle over, hips a little bit to the left, left foot to the right, and let yourself feel that internal rotation. Beautiful, and then come back to center one time, lift heart, reset to midline, exhale, melt, dive, forward fold. Wonderful, rock that front foot back down to the floor, and then position the heel, walk it out a little bit to the left, such that the left hand can start to come into the floor as well for a runner's lunge. Lift the heart, melt the chest. You can stay right here, always working in layers, right? Just like an onion, we peel it back. One layer is not necessarily better than the other, they're just layers. So staying right here, beautiful, get the full benefits of the posture. Lengthen the heart, start to melt the hips down to the floor. Feels good. Want to start to lower one forearm to the ground and maybe the other. Again, hugging that left knee into the midline a little bit, that kind of souping up as you're driving and melting your heart down. Good, all that feels good. You want to go another layer, you can lift the back toes off the mat and get some strength and length in the back leg. Shooting the heel for the wall behind you, breathing deeply here. Maybe shake out the head, it feels good. And change, drop that back knee, heel toe the foot underneath, and the knee once again, and then just straighten that leg, flex the toes, lift the heart, and melt, dive forward one more time. Good, and then rock the foot back down to the floor. Come up to the hands on the top of the thigh. Square off, lift the heart open, hands up for the ceiling. Beautiful, and then just release that left hand and start to take it across the body. Maybe grab onto the back of the right thigh, or perhaps the hip or the glute, whatever feels good, and just breathe here and lift the heart. Beautiful. From here, we're going to reach, take the left hand top of the thigh once again. This time you're going to bend the back knee, and maybe you just stay right there. Maybe just bend that back knee and get that stretch across the top of the right thigh. If all that works out for you and you want to reach around and grab onto the foot, feel free to do so. Again, working these layers. And then just lift the chest, lift the heart. And so the knee is a little bit forward on the top part of the glute so that you kind of create some space for the knee. Breathe. All that feels good, and you want to start to grab and hold with both hands. Then you can grab on as well. And just breathe into the top of the leg. Beautiful, and then start to release that down and let that go. Straightening the left leg again, flex the toes up for the sky and melt all the way down to the floor. Good, and then just start to come into the splits, and so you can walk the knee back behind you. Again, it really doesn't matter how far you go in this posture, you get full benefits. So sometimes I like that you can have your blocks here as well, so they can frame both of your feet, your hips. So you can kind of have one block here and one block there to give yourself some extra height on whatever level makes sense for you and your body. And then just breathe, right? Breathing into that hamstring, flexing the feet towards the face. Get some lengthen, get some strength in the body. Again, kind of like you're getting souped up from the midline, so you're not completely just letting yourself melt down, so that you have some engagement in the legs and a little bit of presence of being in the body, especially for those who maybe have a dancing background and can easily do the splits. It's still important to engage the body to protect from injury, and then just breathe. Good, and then when you're ready, you can slowly start to peel yourself out of the posture, however is easiest for you. Tuck the back toes, walk the foot back up to meet the front leg, and then just pivot over to the side, taking the feet about the length, half of the length of the mat. Pigeon toe the feet in a little bit, so we'll take the forward fold here, inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, melt down forward. Good, let the head hang heavy. You can rock from side to side and just feel the difference in the body from one leg to the next. Good, we'll even that out in a moment. Good, maybe shake your head out no and give it a good shake, yes. Roll the shoulders down the back. Maybe let everything go. Good, and then hand toe and the feet back to the top of the mat. Let the left foot meet the right. Come back to that forward fold. Inhale, lengthen, exhale. So hands to feet, Padahastasana. So inserting the hands underneath the feet, and then the palms are face up. You can bend your knees as much as you need to make that grip happen. And then wiggle your toes, giving your wrists a little bit of a massage. Take an inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold down. Good, maybe shake your head out, no, and then shake your head out, yes. Engage the low belly up off the tops of the thighs. And just hang out here for a few breaths. See if you can walk the weight into the ball mounds of the big toes. And just notice again, always where you're dumping weight. Sometimes it's in the inner or outer feet, sometimes it's in the heels, or not so often in the big toes, so that we tend to naturally want to bring the hips so that they can start to be over the ankles over time. And just breathe. And you can use the grip that you have to start to peel yourself down a little bit more, always taking it to your edge and letting the breath soften the edge. Release the hands from underneath, take it onto your hips, engage the core, press the feet through the floor. to slowly, quad strong, roll and or one vertebrae come up at a time. Good. And then just take a moment, let your eyes float close, to re-presence, to re-ground, and just notice. Notice sensation in the body. Notice the quality of the breath. Let everything just settle again. Beautiful. And then walk back top of the mat, big toes touch. Inhale, reach arms all the way up. Exhale, open for the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, open for the right. Good. Inhale, center. One more time per side. Exhale, left. Good. Inhale, center. And exhale, right. Good. Now inhale, center. And practice open the heart. Maybe arch the spine a little bit more back. Good. Center, lift to rise. Exhale, lower, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, now this time, oops, the left foot goes back for the wall behind you, and go ahead and lower that knee to the ground. So the left hand plants on the inside, so same sequence, now other leg, beginning to open the chest, lift the heart, taking the right hand to that right hip, and then spiraling open for the right side, staying right here, all good, or choosing to bring the right arm up for the sky. Beautiful, lowering the hand, and then walking the hips back, flex the right foot for the forehead, inhale, lengthen, and exhale, let yourself melt over that extended leg. See if you can square off the hips. With every inhale, a little bit longer, leading with that chest, and then the exhales, let yourself melt down and just be with your body. Maybe let your eyes float closed here. Good, and then just take the hips towards the left and let the outer edge of the right foot start to go towards the floor, and feel that internal sensation, that juiciness. So good. One more deep breath. Good, and change. So now just the right foot rocks over towards the left and the hips out towards the right. Feeling that other internal sensation on the inner thigh this time. Good, and then flex the foot, lift the heart, reset to midline, and melt over the leg. Breathing deeply. Good, and change, rocking the foot down to the floor, then heel toe, the right foot out for the right, planting the right hand and left to the inside, this time runner's lunge. So hug that right leg into the midline a little bit, engage the legs, you can stay right here, all good. Or if you choose to and you want more, you can go ahead and start to lower down to the left forearm. Maybe the right forearm. Did so other side, you can lift the back knee up off the floor and create strength in the back leg, reaching for the wall behind you at the same time, hugging it into the midline and breathing here for 3, for 2, and change slowly. Lower the knee if it was lifted, coming back to the center, and then walking the hands up to the top of the right thigh. Take a moment to ground and hug everything inside, and then inhale and lift the arms up for the ceiling. So this time we're taking the right hand, reaching it around, grabbing onto the glute, the back of the left thigh, and keeping the left arm lifted up for the sky. And breathing into the hip, breathing into the quadricep, and just be. Beautiful. Come back to center. And coming back into that quadricep stretch that we did on the other side here too. So you can stay right here just with the leg lifted in the air. If that feels good and you want more, then you can, and also always use a strap, that being said, around at the top of the ankle. So you can reach around, grab on with one hand and stay there and just kind of work into that left hip, staying square to the front. All of that feels good. You can reach around and grab on with both hands. And just breathe. Got a nice tight hip along this left side especially, so it feels so good just to take a moment to breathe into that top of the thigh, the hip. Oh, so good. The last two. And change. Slowly release. Let your right foot go up toward the ceiling. And take an inhale, lengthen, and then let yourself melt down to the floor. Beautiful, rocking the foot down to the floor, tuck the back toes, lift up the back leg, come to face the side of the mat again. Take an inhale, lengthen, exhale, let yourself melt down. You take the same posture, but if you want, instead you can take both hands to the ankles, or maybe interlace 10 fingers behind you, even the thumbs, and let gravity do its work to start to pull you down towards the floor. Getting a nice shoulder stretch if you chose the bound behind you. And focus on your breath. Forward folds are always such a great gift to close off, go inside, and breathe deep, to reconnect. Delicious. Slowly release. Take the hands to the hips for a moment. Taking the hands to the floor again. If you don't reach the floor, you can always grab a block, using it at whatever height that you need. So we'll take a little spinal twist here. So then reaching the right arm up for the sky. Left hand stays down. Whether you need a block or not, see about keeping that left hip tucked under. Tendency to kind of start to shift towards the right. See if you can square it off and just breathe here. Open chest, lift heart. Wonderful, and we'll just switch sides. Taking the left arm up for the sky and breathe up. Beautiful, slowly descending, coming back. All right, so we're gonna kick that block aside and then just come on down to your knees. So I'm gonna take frog pose. It's one of my favorites. So you're gonna let yourself on your knees go out wide. Again, if you want a block in front of you, sometimes that's always a good support. But effectively think about having your feet not too far out, not too far in, but just right almost where you have 90 degrees between your knee and your thigh and your ankle, as well as you're flexing your feet. Imagine like you had frog toes. So you're flexing your feet, you've got a 90 degree with your foot too. So you can stay right here, that might be enough sensation. I like to bring my hands to the floor, and then you can play around with, hello Mr. Kitty, this is Olaf. You can start to play around with bringing the hips towards the wall behind you. So the more that you send your hips for the wall behind you, the more sensation you'll get. Staying right there, you can bring the forearms to the floor, if that feels good. And then just hang out. This is like really juicy and really deep. So let your eyes close maybe, and let yourself be with the depths of this posture and the sensation of it. Send breath to those tight places and love yourself. See if you can lengthen the breaths a little bit deeper in and a little bit deeper out, and if they can get richer. And of course, if you want to back off, bring the hips forward a little bit, and if you want more, bring the hips back a little bit more. Good. This is a very deep posture, so as you come out of it, do so with slow love for yourself. I like to tuck my toes, press my hands into the floor, and slowly bring one knee to meet the other. I had a furry friend with me that whole time. Okay, good. And then slowly come onto a seat. Good. Take an inhale, lengthen, lift arms up. Exhale, open for the right. Left hand on top of the knee. Good. Inhale, center. And exhale, right hand on top of left knee and twist open. Good. Inhale, lengthen all the way up. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Take a moment to close your eyes and just reconnect. Drop into the body again. You can stay here as long as you want in this seated meditation for closing. Making the chest open, the hearts lift, crown of the head for the sky while the sit bones reach back. And then sometimes you have a tendency to bring the forehead forward. See if you can lean back a little bit and create a straight line from sit bones to shoulders. And breathe. Beautiful. You're welcome to stay here as long as you like. Reaping in the benefits of the postures and the sequence and the practice, and letting yourself truly just be with all of that. We move and we practice for the sitting and the quietness. The yin and the yang, the ebb and the flow. So again, please feel free to be here as long as you like. And until we meet again, namaste.